Guys, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, especially if you love college football as much as I do. Colorado goes on the road to take on Nebraska in a rematch from last year's Week 2 game, which Colorado won by pulling away because Nebraska's offense was just so bad, especially at the quarterback position. They did get Dylan Raiola, who was the top quarterback in the country coming out of high school this past year. He's going to be a true freshman. While I think this game will be a lot more competitive and it is winnable for Nebraska because this game is at Nebraska. Remember, I wouldn't say Coach Rule and Coach Sanders hate each other, but there were some slick comments that were made this past year from Matt Rule referencing the cameras. So, and you remember Shedeur Sanders last year after they beat Nebraska, he said he didn't respect them and, whatever it was. So there's a little bit of bad blood in this game. And again, it's not necessarily a rivalry. Is it? I don't know. But because I don't follow Colorado and Nebraska much anyway. But I do think Nebraska is going to be a much improved team compared to last year. This game is going to go down to the quarterback play, in my opinion. Because I do expect Colorado's defense, secondary-wise, to be really good again. They're going to be bigger at the line of scrimmage. And imagine that's going to be a big boost to Colorado. Nebraska's defense will give Colorado some problems. I expect Shedeur Sanders to have a really hard time this game. And again, not because he's not a good quarterback. And I do expect the offensive line to play better. But even if you have a much better offensive line and a bigger offensive line, you got a physical line of scrimmage to deal with as far as a D-line coming in your face. That's going to be really hard to deal with. So I have Colorado winning this game by at least 6 points. Give me a lower scoring game. Just because I know Colorado's secondary is already pretty decent. And because you're going to have bigger bodies up front trying to make plays, that'll help your secondary a lot more. You'll get more sacks, you'll force more turnovers, and your run defense should be a lot better. So give me Colorado to win this game just because I trust Shedeur Sanders to make more plays, especially in the fourth quarter to win this game, much more than I do an inexperienced quarterback in Dylan Raiola. And again, this is no disrespect to Nebraska or Coach Rule or even Dylan Raiola. It's just I trust a guy who was a top 10 passer at some point this past year who had a bad offensive line blocker for him way more than I trust an inexperienced true freshman quarterback who's just now about to have his first big game, whether it's home or away. So again, this is a winnable game for Nebraska if Nebraska can win the turnover battle. But again, you're a great defense with an offense that clearly struggled this past year. And again, you're having Dylan Raiola, who I think will help the offense. I just don't see Nebraska's offense making that much of a big difference in Week 2 when you're playing a team like Colorado, who already had all the pieces, special teams-wise and skill players-wise, who's now about to have bigger bodies up front, both blocking for Shedeur and run blocking. Because you imagine a run game will be a lot better. And the defensive line to be a lot bigger up front. Who already had a lot of pieces but now has more. I trust that team more than I do Nebraska, who's got a great defense already. Probably will be better. But offensively, still has a lot to show, especially with a freshman quarterback, even though he was highly rated. So give me the Colorado to win this game. 24-20. Very low scoring. I think Shedeur and late in the fourth quarter and that offensive line will be able to make enough plays to score a touchdown or go up by a field goal to where Nebraska has to score a touchdown and they'll have the ball last or something like that. They'll have the ball last most likely in the fourth quarter. They'll move the football, but then they'll turn it over because of an inexperienced quarterback. And again, not because Nebraska's choking or they can't do it. I mean, again, your offense struggled last year. It's probably going to struggle more, but not as much. But it'll take time for that offense to grow throughout the year. And again, it's a Week 2 game. I just don't see the offense being able to muster up enough to make plays, given that Colorado's going to be a lot better anyway.